Boom! All right, boys, we're live. This is episode 4. It's already been 4 episodes of Football and Freight, and we're going to go through our best bets of the week. But first, we got to get to a little bit of housekeeping here. Ryan is back in the lead at 22 wins, 14 losses. I have taken over second place with 20 wins and 16 losses, and Jared is, he's staying 500 at 18 and 18. Mainly those Jets picks is what gets him. Other than that, everything's good. How are we, guys?
Doing great, man. The Titans shit the bed, but, one field goal away isn't too bad. So
that was an absolutely brutal betting week for me right there. That was not fun. I knew as soon as I looked and Bama was Texas was hanging with Bama, I knew I was in trouble for the whole weekend.
Yeah, it was a wild weekend for college and NFL. NFL, I think, was the closest weekend score-wise that they've ever had, I believe. I think that's accurate. You could double-check that, but I'm pretty sure it was the closest or the most games decided by less than a field goal in recent memory. Anyways, I came up on the weekend with the betting, but I had to save myself by going into Barstool, getting some promo codes, throwing it all in the Bucks Sunday night, winning Monday night as well, doubling down. So I'm back in the positive, but definitely a rough weekend. So let's go ahead and get to the coin toss. What are we doing? Heads or tails? What's the coin toss here?
So heads is MVP.
Yep.
Tails is Rookie of the Year.
All right, let's flip this bad boy. See what we're doing. Ooh, so we're going Rookie of the Year, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you guys got for Rookie of the Year?
I think right now, just in overall play, I know usually it's going to be taken by an offensive player, maybe even a quarterback at that. But I feel a strong presence on that defensive line for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I am going to take Trayvon Walker, and I think that he's going to blast through and show a good prowess and continue to grow this year as a player. I don't think he's going to do so well against Tennessee both times they play, but, that's just my personal opinion. So I'm taking that man.
Well, damn you, Ryan.
All right.
Trayvon Walker's my pick too. He already has a sack and he already has an interception, so he's already got a head start. Rookie of the Year is always stats driven, so it's going to be either a quarterback, which we don't really have one of those this year, a wide receiver, a corner if they can maybe get some interceptions, or a D lineman if they can get sacks. The fact that he already has 1 sack and 1 interception, I think it already points to him having a good season. If he can get 10 sacks and even just finish off with that 1 interception, I think he's got it in the bag. Unless Sauce just gets
Jared.
5 interceptions this year and just pulls it out.
That's where I was going. I like to go with the best player that I think that's on the field, and I'd have to say Sauce Gardner is probably the best player on the field defensively as a rookie. Now, I'm not saying he's going to get the best stats because if you look at the Jets, why would you throw his way when you could throw another way? I'm not saying he gets the best stats, but I will say he's going to be the best player out of this draft class, in my opinion.
100%. Fucking love it, guys.
You can see it.
It is. Yeah. It is what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and knock out our 3 games of the week. What games are you guys going with? I'm assuming Titans, Jets, but what are we covering here?
So my game is going to be a stressful nail biter. It is going to be Monday Night Football, Titans versus the Bills. I believe in my Titans. I know that loss to the New York Giants is definitely going to play a part in their overall getting ready for this Monday night game. Having that extra day of rest is also going to play a nice key into this one. For me, I think our defensive line play is going to take effect on the Bills. I think that Josh Allen is a good pocket presence. So if he gets stuck there, he will have opportunities to throw because he's a great quarterback. But I think our defensive line play, Jeffrey Simmons coming in, Rashad Weaver coming off the bench to take place for the injured player coming in. I just really think that our defensive line play is going to really tackle and get in on Josh Allen. I don't think their run game's as strong as everybody wants to believe. So I believe on the Titans taking this one. And honestly, I'll take the point spread on this one because it's 10 points right now. So it's a great line to pick the Titans to go ahead and take this one.
Okay. All right. I dig it.
All right.
What you got,
Obviously, we're
Jared?
all sticking with our teams. So I got the Jets. So Jets Browns this week. I don't see the Browns being able to pass very much on us. Jacoby Brissett, an absolute backup, just like Joe Flacco. Jeff Flacco absolutely just destroyed my face last week. Cannot rely on the guy. Need Zach Wilson back next week, but Sauce Gardner allowed one reception for 8 yards, and the DJ Reed, the other corner on the other side, didn't allow a single reception and had an interception. So I think as long as our safeties hold up, they won't be able to throw on us. And then you just got to worry about Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt running on you, which Jets probably have one of the best defensive lines with Sheldon Rankins, Quinnen Williams, Carl Lawson, Jermaine Johnson. So as long as we can shut down the pass on the outside, which I think we'll be able to do, as long as our safeties hold up over top, that's the main question. I think we'll be able to shut down the run, and I think I'm going to take the Jets, and they're plus 6.5 right now. So I wish it was 7.5, but I'll take the 6.5.
So I'm with you if you're talking spread there. So, and let's talk.
Yeah.
I've got the Action Network free trial going right now, so give some people some good advice here. What the Action Network gives you is it gives you the percentage of bets that have been placed off of all the sports book online and in Vegas. There's been 16,190 bets in the Jets-Browns game. So 56% of the bets are on the Browns minus 5.5. But 23% of the money is on the Browns. 44% of the bets are on the Jets. 77% of the money's on the Jets with a 33% differential, which is the highest of the weekend. That means all the big-time bettors, the insiders, the people with the scoop, they're putting all their money on the Jets to stay within a touchdown.
I mean, I can see that. I can say that the staying within a touchdown, definitely can see that.
Yeah, I think I like that as well. And look at the Titans game. The Titans game is the least differential. Monday Night Football, 2%. Pretty much, you got plus 10 is the best odds right now. 34% of the tickets are on the Titans, 36% of the money. So the people are putting more money on the Titans at plus 10. But over 60% of both sides are on the Bills, so they're definitely favoring them to get the win. But
yeah,
I would stay away from that game betting. I'm going to bet it. Let's be real, but I would stay away from it if I was giving people advice. Chattanooga 2-0. The boys, they are ranked number 9 in the country, top 10 team now. We are legit contenders, and they're going to face Northern Alabama. They're coming to Chattanooga. We played them last year. I think we beat them 21-0, 20-0, something like that. This game is the homecoming game. Chattanooga's not going to lose homecoming. They're putting it this early in the season because this is their easiest home game. So I look for this game to be probably maybe closer than what it should be, just because of the activities and stuff. But I'd say 30s to 10s of something, probably something like that. I'd say the spread's probably in the 20s. If I had to guess, it probably is 20.5 in the spread if I had to guess. And I would probably take Chattanooga on that spread. They didn't cover last week. I told you guys it's a lot of points. It was 19-point spread. They covered 18.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, they should have covered that too. They shouldn't have let them score. So they're looking good. They got that transfer quarterback in. They got a good defensive line, good offensive line, and Lean Ford's still running the ball really well. Watch out. Let's just say this might be a sleeper Chattanooga team. This might be one of the best Chattanooga teams that we've had in a long time. So I'm taking Chattanooga. But that gets us to the 12-point logistics games of the week. I'm going to go ahead and try to get these pulled up. That way we can not spend as much time talking about each one individually. We can just kind of glance at this as a whole here.
Let's do it.
So we get this pulled up. Here's the games that we're looking at. Obviously, with the date stuff over here, you've got Thursday night, which is tonight, 8:15 p.m. Chargers and Chiefs. Looks like me and Ryan are leaning Chargers, but Jared is leaning Chiefs. Let's talk through this one a little bit. This is the primetime game tonight.
So I definitely, think the Chargers are going to have a good debut, coming back off of that game they just played against the Raiders. which was a debacle last year to go into the playoffs for one of them. Chargers came out with a win on that one. I think in this game, Austin Eckler gets a little more route running, a little more play time, gets a few more yards, maybe a touchdown or two in this game. I know Keenan Allen's out of it, so Mike Williams is going to play a part, as well as Gerald Everett, the tight end. Kansas City looked like the team to be in the Super Bowl week 1. Everybody sees it. It's one of the two. It's either Buffalo or Kansas City. But for me, just the play on defense that the Chargers will bring to this game is going to make the difference, and that's why I'm going for the Bolts.
Yeah, so I'm looking here at the money. So if you're looking at, opened at +3, I think it's now at +4. I got it at 3.5. But 36% of the bets are on the Chargers, 38% of the money. There is a difference right there. There's been 108,000 bets. The majority of the public's going with the Chiefs. On big primetime games, I like to fade the public because those are usually the games that the casual fan, the bandwagon fan, the I watch first take fan is listening to ESPN and going, oh man, they're hyping up the Chiefs. Let's put all of our money on the Chiefs tonight. And then you got the whales that are sitting back going, yeah, y'all keep moving the line a little bit. And then when the Chargers get +4, I'm throwing all my money on that bad boy. So, I don't know. I like the Chargers to get this, not to win outright. Maybe I picked them to win, obviously, but maybe the Chiefs win. I like it to be a 1-score game. Now, is that a touchdown or is that a field goal? I don't know, but I think it's a 1-score game.
No, Gunnar, I'm with you on that. I absolutely love fading the public on the primetime games. I think it's the way to go. But Patty Mahomes just showed last week, I think, that it doesn't matter who he's throwing to out here. He could be throwing to the water boy in the stands, and it doesn't matter. Homie's going 17 of 18. Dude's going to tear up the field. Keenan Allen's out, like Ryan had said. I don't think J.C. Jackson's playing. I think he's going to be a game-time decision, which if he is playing makes me obviously a little bit more nervous. He's one of the best corners in the league. Has, I think, the most turnovers taken away since 2018. But I got to go with Kansas City right here. Patty Mahomes showed that he's the real deal even without Tyreek Hill. At home, primetime game, got to roll with Patty.
All right. Now, that's straight up. You're not going spread on them, right?
Right.
You're not saying they win by
We're
3.5.
going,
Okay.
we're just going straight up.
Straight up. All right. Tomorrow night, there's 2 games in college. The only one worth betting is Florida State Louisville. So if we go over here, we go to NCAA. We'll pull this up. You're looking at a 12% differential right here now, with 17% of the bets and 29% of the money being on Louisville. But that's at 2.5. When I got it, I believe I got it at 1.5. And I threw all the money, just like all the bets and all the people are putting all the money on Florida State to get this game done. You're pretty much saying that Florida State's not going to win against Louisville. And they're just giving them those points because it's at home and maybe because Florida State played a close game against LSU. I think LSU would drop Louisville on their head. I think Florida State drops Louisville on their head. I think this is easily a 1-score game, and Florida State gets it done.
Yep. I think we all agree on that one.
Yeah, man.
Georgia, South Carolina. Yeah, go ahead.
Louisville's quarterback thinks he's Lamar Jackson, and he's just not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody thinks you're Lamar Jackson until you play up against a ACC caliber championship defense.
Exactly.
And I would say it's going to be Clemson, and then Florida State or Miami this year because the boys are back.
Miami,
both of them are back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually excited for the Florida State Miami game this year for the first time in a really long time.
Yep, that'll be a good game.
Georgia, South Carolina. I think we're all leaning Georgia here, and only if hell freezes over would we agree that South Carolina wins.
Yeah.
BYU, Oregon. To be honest with you, I don't think any of us know much about either team, and we're kind of just going with the flow here.
Yeah.
If you look at the money, I believe. Let's see if we can find the money here.
I will say
okay.
There she is.
So you got 73% of the money on BYU plus 3.5 right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bit surprising.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No, I'm skeptical about that one.
The majority of this happened when it opened at plus 6.5.
Yep.
So it's starting to swing with the bigger money coming in now at -3.5 for Oregon. So,
Yeah.
I mean, at +6.5, I think I like BYU. At 3.5, I might like Oregon. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a toss-up. I mean, the way they played Baylor, I mean, I know it went into overtime, and there was many chances for Baylor to win that game, but I mean, BYU is a tough team. They played their own game, and that's a big part in the NCAA is actually being able to play your own game and not play somebody else's.
Well, and Oregon's probably one of the toughest places to play at too. Autzen Zoo just gets rowdy, so that's kind of what I'm leaning on for this.
Oh yeah. So this is probably the most exciting NCAA game that we're got on the schedule, and that's going to be Miami versus Texas A&M. It's gotten the most talk around here in the office, from what I've heard you guys kind of talking about out there.
Yeah.
Texas A&M coming off a big loss against App State, so the common fan says they're getting revenge. They're going to come back out and they're just going to change everything and they're going to dominate Miami. Then you see Miami balling, and you're like, okay, so is Miami back, or has Miami not played anybody yet? How would Miami do against App State? These are things you think about.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started it off and they give them 8 points to open the spread, and it's still at 6.5. So are you saying this game's going to be more than a one-score game? Is this game going to overtime? Is this game won on the final drive? I don't know. Games at Texas A&M, you got the 12th man.
Big O Aggies.
Only 6,000 bets on this. It is a +9 differential for everybody's putting all the money's on Miami. Percentage of the bets are on Miami. So I don't know. This is a tough one. I'm taking Miami just because I feel like Texas A&M was so hyped going into the season that I don't know if they have a team, but I think they got some good players. There's a difference there. Do you have a team or do you have players? I think for the past several years, Miami's had players and not a team, but now they have a coaching staff that has built a team environment around there, and they're starting to get their swagger back a little bit. I'm taking the upset and going Miami. I don't know what you guys are thinking.
Yeah, so looking at this game, it's definitely up in the air. Not as bad as that BYU Oregon, but for me, I think Jimbo Fisher he rebounds pretty well. I know, like you said, with the hype coming into this year, I think the majority of that was because of the Alabama beat last year. So for me personally, I believe Texas A&M comes in and just, it's probably, like you said, going to be a one-score game. I don't believe either team is going to blow anybody out of the water on this one. But for it to be, played at Texas A&M, having those Aggies, having all those people with their chants and their roars, it's going to play a key factor in this game. So I am going to go Texas A&M on this one.
Okay. Miami's back until they show me that they're not back. So I'm going to roll with Miami on this one. That offense looks explosive. Like Gunner said, I think until now they've just been kind of players that kind of make it to the league. But they're starting to play as a team, and from what I've seen, they're explosive, and that's something that they can't handle. It does make me nervous being at the 12th man, but we're going to roll with Miami until they prove me otherwise.
Okay. Let's get into some NFL. How about it? We got more NFL games this week than we do NCAA games in our picks because – and just to give you guys an idea of how I picked this, every day there's a game, we're going to bet it, right? So we're going to take the primetime game from each one. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, obviously you're going to get NCAA. Sunday, you're going to get all NFL. And then Monday, there's actually 2 games to pick from, but we just went Titans-Bills. So you got Jets versus Cleveland to start it out, the 1 p.m. game, and Tampa and New Orleans in the 1 p.m. game. What are you guys thinking on that?
So on this one, Jets versus Browns, I think Jacoby Brissett looked well. I think he looked like a proven backup for sure, but also a caliber starter for them. In my personal opinion, I'd say, fire Deshaun Watson in all his glory and get Jacoby Brissett on a decent contract. So with him and their running game coming against the Jets, I know Jared's high on the defensive line play for the Jets, but I think with those two, Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, I think that they are going to come out and ball out all over the Jets. They aren't going to have to throw as much as possible. They're going to have that run game key in. So for me, I'm taking Cleveland on this one, just outright.
Yeah, man, and I kind of already covered it with my game of the week. Like he said, I think that Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb are the best backfield tandem in the league. I think if anything, if they do beat us, I think it'll be on their shoulders. But just can't, with all the things I said earlier, I just can't go against the Jets on this. I think people are underestimating the Jets. Like Gunner said, a lot of the big dogs got the money on the Jets, so I'm rolling with them on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think they keep it within a touchdown for
Yeah.
sure. Obviously, like if you look at like the percentage of money, I mean, they're in fourth right there. 78% of the money is on them to cover, with only 44% of the tickets. So you're looking at about 6,000 people putting a lot of money on the Jets to cover in this game. I like the Jets in this one. The next game, it's more my style here with Tampa and New Orleans. You guys are going New Orleans. Makes sense. If you look at New Orleans, Tom has yet to beat them in the regular season with Tampa, which makes me think, he's undefeated against the Cowboys. I doubt that he stays defeated against the New Orleans Saints and Tampa, and this is his last year. He's either going to beat on this game or later on down the season, so might as well just go ahead and pick this one to be safe. So I'm taking Tom and Tampa Bay for the New Orleans game.
I'm going to take old Jameis Winston, Mr. Crab Legs, going against his former team. I think with Michael Thomas coming back into the fold and Olave, kind of proving that he can at least catch a ball in the NFL. Alvin Kamara is going to be a little bit waiver, but Taysom Hill coming out of nowhere every single week is just he's a gadget player you can't prepare for. So for me, with this being in New Orleans, I'm taking them all the way straight up.
All the reasons Ryan just listed, all the offensive weapons that they have. Love what I think this is one of the games that Alvin Kamara had 6 touchdowns in. Saints just always end up playing. This is always one of the toughest games to bet because you never know what's going to happen. Either Tom's going to get smoked by them or they're going to smoke Tom. I love New Orleans. I love it being in New Orleans, so we're going to roll with the home team on this bad boy.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I just went through real quick and highlighted these. These are the only games that we have a disagreement on. All right.
Cool.
So the next 3 games, Atlanta and Rams, we all think the Rams are going to win that one. Bengals, Cowboys, if Joe Burrow loses this game, it's just going to be real bad for them. And I think that I think they win big in that game. Green Bay, Chicago, I mean, we're all taking Green Bay because let's just be real. Aaron Rodgers doesn't do well the first game of the season, and he's probably going to throw for 5 touchdowns and 500 yards in the next game. And the only reason Chicago, he was even in that game against 49ers is because it was a monsoon, and they should have lost that game regardless.
And Aaron Rodgers
Titans,
owns
Bills.
the Bears.
Aaron Rodgers does own the Bears. Literally, I think that he will be their owner of their franchise once the season's over or whenever he is done playing football. But the next big game is Monday Night Football, Titans versus Bills. We got our big Titan fan in the building, but then we got the couple of realists in the building as well. How do you guys see this game playing out?
So, not going to pick a direct score, but on this, I am very favorable on that 10-point spread. But I do think, taking that Titans money line at plus, I think 350. I mean, it's just a easy way to, flip around, $20 into $75. So I think the Titans are going to get a good defensive effort. I think Derrick Henry kind of gets a little more ball rolling, maybe gets a few good carries that break out 20-plus yards. I think he's going to definitely score this week. And with the overall perspective of playing Monday Night Football prime time, I think, again, that the defense on this game for the Titans is going to be key. And if we can get some 3-and-outs and we can get 1 turnover, the Titans have this pegged in the bag. It's just easy money.
I think the Titans showed that they're a good team last week. I think they controlled the Giants for the most part. I think it was just like 4 or 5 explosive plays that really ended up even letting the Giants into the game in the first place. Mm-hmm. But that's what Josh Allen does best, is make explosive plays happen, especially with Diggs, especially with my boy Gabe Davis. I think the Bills have this one. I don't like it being 10 points. I don't think I'm going to go with that, but I think I'll throw the Bills in a couple of parlays and just kind of roll with them as a solid bet.
Yeah, I mean, I just like the Bills. Listen, I love watching guys that perform at a really high level. And when you watch the Bills play, you get to watch Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and Von Miller perform at a really high level. They're just a really fun team to watch. Yeah, so I mean, I'm going Bills in that straight up. I don't know if I like the Bills on the cover. I do like the Bills on the money line, but I definitely see where Ryan sees value there with making quick money on the Titans if they was to pull the upset right there. I want to pull this up money line. How about this? 90% of people think the Browns are going to beat the Jets, but this small 10% of people has 75% of the money on this game at
That
plus
is wild.
230 odds. That's looking like a solid game. But it's even
combo
crazy
the Jets
that
with the Titans on a parlay right there.
That'd be there you go. We should just do Jets money line, Titans money line, Mox money line, and that should be our bet every week.
Yeah,
we should
every week. Oh shit!
Every week.
It'll hit. It'll hit
eventually. It will hit. All right, so that's our games. That's pretty much everything. So now let's get into the fun stuff, which is the fun stuff, which we think is the locks of the week, right?
Yeah.
So what are you guys putting down as the lock of the week?
What you got, Jared?
So I got Rams, Bengals, and Dolphins. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go with the Dolphins, who are actually, I think, an underdog in this game. I think it's 5.5, 3.5. It's 3.5 versus the Ravens. Love the Dolphins this year. I think they showed last week. I was all in on the Dolphins, and they came up big for me. So going to roll with the Dolphins again. I'm going to take the plus 3.5, and I'm also going to take the plus 160 money line on that bad boy.
Right. Yeah, on my lock of the week, I don't know. I haven't looked it up again, but I know just through last week that Mac Jones kind of was questionable coming into this week. So my lock is going to be that Mitch Trubisky and the Steelers pull over an upset at plus 105 on the odds over the New England Patriots. So that's my lock.
Okay, I like those. So I did a bunch of this, right? I've been looking at a bunch of this, and I was comparing it to last week of like, does the difference matter? Does like the whale money matter, right? And let's just recap real quick. Let's recap what the big dogs did last week. So if you go to the spread and go to the difference, did that Jets game hit?
Oh, we're on week 2.
Week 2.
There we go.
So check this out.
Giants.
Did that Giants game hit?
You fuckers.
Did that Bears game hit?
Yeah.
It did.
Did that Texans game hit? No, it was a tie. It's a terrible game.
No, it did hit. That's plus 7.5.
They covered.
It did hit.
Oh, it hit. They covered. That's right.
Did the Seahawks game hit?
Yeah, they covered.
Packers did not. Did this Dolphins game hit? It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Did this Jaguars game hit? It did.
It did.
Did this Raiders game hit? It did.
Damn.
Shit.
Did the Bills game hit? It did. Did the Chiefs game hit? It did. Did the Panthers game hit? Yeah, buddy. Did the Buccaneers hit? Yes, sir. Did the Eagles hit? No. Did the Saints hit? Sure did. No. It was minus 5.5. No, it didn't. And then did the Jets hit? Sure did.
No.
Like, well, all the money. If you look at so take the ones out that are like the small percentage under 10 differential. I'd say try to stay 10 to or anything 10 up.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only one that didn't hit was Packers. So let's go over here, play a little ball. Let's go a little NCAA football. A lot of games that you wouldn't think they'd be playing is games like this.
Mm-hmm.
How about the University of Texas San Antonio plus 12.5 against Texas? Everybody's going to be taking Texas because they just had a good game against Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
But all the money's over here on San Antonio to be okay. I don't know if I'm taking that game. I don't know if that's my lock of the week or not. I'm saying my lock of the week is Florida State minus up to probably -3 against Louisville. Like, I think that's a very, very strong play, very strong lock. Like, Florida State's going to win that game. It's just a matter of how much. So I think
what's the line on that?
What do you guys? On which one?
UCF, Florida.
24.
And what is that, 98% money?
That's wild, yeah.
It's 98% of the money is on South Florida, 24 points.
Oh, God.
There's 99% of the money on UL Lafayette at minus 11.5 against Rice.
Jesus.
But the most bet game so far is Oklahoma, Nebraska, and they got Oklahoma at plus 10.5.
I can see that.
Or Nebraska plus 10.5, which interim coach, they're going to be playing a little bit harder for this guy. They're going to do some things they wouldn't have done. They might even pull an upset, so it probably could be a close game. So, yeah, my lock of the week, I got Florida State. What do you guys have for the dogs of the week?
My dog is my Super Bowl favorite, the Los Angeles Chargers. Go Bolts. So I got them on my dog money line plus 170. So lock that in. Whether you do it with a parlay or just straight up money, it's gonna hit.
All right, what you got, Jared?
All right, so I got two dogs. I'm rolling with Miami all the way. I've got Miami versus A&M. I'm taking the plus 5, and I'm taking the plus 176 money line. And then I've got the Dolphins on the plus 3.5 versus the Ravens, and also plus 160. So I'm probably going to combo the plus 176 and the 160 on that bad boy and play a parlay with that. But rolling with Miami in NFL and college football this week.
Okay, for dogs of the week. All right, listen. I'm going to follow the money. That's what I'm going to follow. I'm going to follow the money. And the money is on the Jets. All right? But let's see what the money line is.
Damn.
Oh, yeah, bro. Jets money line is the play of this week. So plus 230 odds, Jets money line. Put half a unit on there and make a full unit. That's the game. Let's go Jets. Jets, right? Let's go Jets.
Let's go.
That is still so scary about how much money is 10%. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, and that's 16,000 tickets. So that means 1,600 of 16,000 people have put the majority of the money on this game. That's wild. That's really, really wild. Right. Considering you got to put more money down just to even make money on the Browns, right?
Yep.
So that should be 2-1 regardless, but it's not. I mean, it's a 4-1 swing. What are you guys looking for the parlays? I'm gonna give a parlay for NFL and for college. You don't have to do that. I just came prepared for it.
Okay, so my parlay, I just have one straight up. It's going to be all money line, no point spread. And I know I took Texas A&M to win that game, and I know it's going to hit. Just like I bet on Baylor, but took BYU last week. I'm going to take the Titans money line against the Bills. I'm going to take Miami money line against Baltimore. Both of them are underdogs. And I'm going to take the Hurricanes against the Aggies. And right there on that 3-game parlay, we're sitting at plus 2,952 on the odds. Jeez. So it is a stretch, but I can easily see all 3 of those games hitting. And if you bet, $10, you're in the clear. You've more than paid for your next betting experience.
Well, I like to hear that Ryan likes both the Dolphins and the Hurricanes, as those were my 2 dogs of the week. I'm going to roll with a straight up all NFL parlay on this one. I'm going to go with the Rams, the Dolphins, the Bengals, and the Bills. If you add all those money lines up, it's plus 387, so almost plus 400, almost 4 times your money. Throw $50 on that bad boy and walk away with $200. Pretty good bet. Very confident in all 4 of those. We'll see how we do.
All right, so my NFL parlay, I'm going straight off of Action Network since they were so precise last week in one of the craziest times in the NFL. I'm going to go Jets, I'm going Packers, and I'm going Jaguars, but I'm going spreads. That gives you plus 582 for your NFL parlay. If we jump over here and look at our NCAA parlay, I'm going to give you University of Texas San Antonio plus 12.5 against Texas. I'm going to give me NC State. I actually got them at minus 10. So NC State minus 10 against Texas Tech. And then Toledo plus 32. That line has not changed, and literally all the money is on Toledo in this game. So Toledo plus 32 against Ohio State. You take that parlay, you're getting plus 615 odds. So, I mean, I think those are two good bets, and I would say the majority of those bets hit, but which one's not going to hit, right? That's usually how the game goes, and then we're screwed. But first, tonight, I need the Chargers to hit, and then tomorrow I need Florida State to hit, and then we start playing some of the parlays. But I have 0 parlays out prior to this moment, so I'll put my parlays out Saturday morning.
Sweet.
All right, boys. Another week down. We'll see what the score is. We only got a couple games that we can disagree on, so I've got to make up some tracks on Ryan. I got to get him on a few things. Look at him pointing down there.
Yeah.
No negativity allowed. Don't be pointing.
Yeah, no, I'm all
positive.
positive. All positive, man.
All right, boys. Well, that's a 35-minute show, so hopefully you guys can get back down here and get back to work because, we all got to do that. All eyes on us, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.